Hello, and how you doing today? Thank you for coming and joining us on Small Talks with Big People podcast. Today I got a very, very special guest. He's kind of like a local celebrity where I'm from around here. This is Raywood Jobert. He's the founder and the CEO of Ugly Clothing Brand. Raywood, how you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. How about yourself?
Oh, good, good. Now, Raywood, man, you kind of like a little walking celebrity around here, man.
I wouldn't say all that.
Come
no,
on, man.
I wouldn't say all that.
Now, Raywood, tell the audience a little bit about yourself, like you personally.
Okay, so I'm born and raised in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and went to Washington High School. I consider myself a creator. Somebody that likes to create things. I'm always trying something different. I'm just a creator. I want to do something that nobody else has done, and that's me.
You grew up like very artistic.
So yeah,
you drew, you painted a lot.
Yeah. So in high school, I was in AP art. I done a lot of drawing. It started in first grade. That's when I started drawing. I used to go to the library, get some drawing books, and that's kind of where it all started from, my creativity. And I feel like I learned how to draw. Some people say that drawing is a gift.
Natural.
It's natural, but to me, I feel like it was something that I've learned over the years.
So you didn't start off good at drawing?
No, I didn't start off good at drawing, and I realized in art, it's going to be ugly before it gets pretty in anything.
Yeah.
So. For that, like learning that aspect from art, it helps me a lot in business, because it's not going to look pretty at first, it's always going to look ugly, before it looks pretty.
Now tell us a brief summary of Ugly, your clothing brand. How did you come up with that name? Why did you call it Ugly? Out of all names, why go Ugly?
So Ugly is very unique, me and my buddy we were on the back patio. We was trying to come up with ideas of trying to figure out like businesses that we wanted to do, to start working for ourselves instead of working for other people. And we always greeted each other and was like, "Hey, what's up, Ugly?" That was one of our greetings. Growing up in high school, we used to refer to each other as Ugly. Like, "Hey, Ugly," text messages, this, that, and the other. And so we was talking in the back patio that day, and me jokingly, I like to joke a lot, and I was like, "Man, I just started a clothing brand and call it Ugly," just out the blue. And he laughed, "Yeah, let's do it." And I was like, "Man, it's not gonna work," But it sparked something in me, and I like a challenge, like I love a challenge. And I was like, what if it's possible for me to start a clothing brand and call it Ugly, and will people wear it? And how can I go about doing that, And the first thing that came to mind was give it an acronym. And so that night I was thinking, and I tried to find an acronym for Ugly. And so I couldn't find nothing for the letter U. I went to the letter G, and I was like, got. And I went to the letter L. First thing that came to mind was love. And then Y was you. And I just kept saying, you got love you. You got love you. And it just came out. You got to love yourself. I said, oh, man, that's dope. It contradicts what it says. And I wasn't thinking, about it. And that very next morning, I called my boss. "Hey, man, guess what?" He was like, "What?" I said, "I got an acronym for Ugly." He said, "What is it?" I said, "You got to love yourself." So, "Oh, man, that's dope. Let's do it. Let's do it." And I was like, "Okay." But at that point, I still wasn't sold on it. I said, "Look, I gotta make a T-shirt. My wife just bought a silhouette machine that she got collecting dust in the closet. So I'm gonna put it to work. I'm gonna make a T-shirt, and that says Ugly, and put a post on Facebook. If I get 100 likes, I'm gonna start a clothing brand." And so that day, I made a T-shirt, put it on Facebook, social media. I got over 100 likes. I got over 100 comments. People was wanting the product. And I didn't know nothing about business. I didn't know nothing about clothing. But I seen the amount of people that in the messages that was wanting the T-shirt. Yes. And so it was at that point is whenever I was like, let's get it,
So you made that first shirt, a day after you came up with the name?
Yeah.
Just like that?
No
waiting, let me think about it. You just jumped in and said, I'm going to do it.
No wait. And that's one thing in business that I realize a lot of people, they try to start businesses. And a lot of times they don't get past the start line. They think about all the things that
they think
too much. And it's like, man, you just got to start. You just got to go. And I didn't realize that at the time, but I do now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it was I just did it, I didn't wait. I just did it. Got on the phone with manufacturers probably a week after that.
Okay.
So
in this modern day, most people don't want to go retail.
Right.
They want to go just strictly online.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to go prove it out retail first.
Right.
So what made you want to go through, the box stores and go through that?
So it actually started with me getting the first store, my first brick and mortar store. Yeah. I didn't know anybody that had a brick and mortar store that was for retail, but I looked at it as an advertisement. Like instead of me paying $1,000, $2,000 a month for a billboard, I can have a physical brick and mortar store, and that'll be my billboard, and it also make money for me. Okay. I wouldn't be taking a loss, and it actually did great. And from me opening a brick and mortar store, it added credibility to the brand. So after about 6 months of me starting it, I opened the store, and the sales of the shirts did not justify me opening the store.
But you knew in your heart.
Oh yeah.
If I had a building or I had a storefront,
yeah, I
can do more.
Yeah, that's right.
But did you start making other products too? Like what other products you started making after you got your store up and running?
So I started making all kind of products. Like you name it, apparel. Any apparel. Like T-shirts, hats, pants, shoes, socks, watches. You name it. Like I was making it all. And I felt like there was something out there for everybody. If somebody didn't want a shirt, they might have wanted a bracelet. If they didn't want a bracelet, they might have wanted some socks. If they didn't want some socks, they might have wanted some shoes. I felt like this brand was for everyone. Like, you got to love yourself. I felt like it resonated with so many different people. I never really got to the point to where I was able to have a target audience because of that. So. Okay,
now, you was making all this stuff out your closet? You had partnerships with manufacturers. Like, how did you get all this product out? How you having shoes and socks and backpacks and shirts and hats? How did you do all this?
So in the beginning, it started off as me having a team. Had like a team of 8 to 5, and we had like an assembly line. We was making it all ourselves in my house, Mm-hmm. And it got to the point to where it's like, okay, we're taking this is a lot, we're trying to do a lot to keep up. So at that point, I told myself, I said, I got to take a trip, because I started dibbing and dabbing with manufacturers from overseas, but the samples, to get a sample in was like $500. And I'm like, man, that's a lot of money. For me to be buying a sample and they come in, it's not what I want. So I got to buy another one. I'm like $1,000. So I said it might be best for me just to go get a plane ticket and go see them face to face. See what I'm looking for.
You hop on the plane, went to China.
Hopped on a plane, went straight to China. Just within a year of business, I didn't play around.
So you ain't like wait, like
no way.
Say, nah, I'm going directly to the manufacturer. I ain't got time.
Directly to the manufacturers, because I'm thinking about, like, man, if I thought about this, I would have never went, because I'd have thought about the language barrier. I'd have thought about so many different things, but I just bought a plane ticket and said, I'm rolling. I got to get it, And when I got there, it was a blessing, I was able to get a hold of some manufacturers that you cannot find online, that you can't find unless you're there, because they already got the clientele. They don't need no extra clients, But it was amazing.
I know now you want to transition to more online sales.
Yeah.
An online store. So. Are you already online, or are you about to be online, or what?
So right now I'm online, but I'm not pushing it. I got hacked about a year and a half ago, and that by me getting hacked, I have to build a foundation to where when I do start pushing online, it's prone to getting hacked again. Trying to secure that. Trying to find ways around it. To be able to start pushing online, because that's how you get to the masses. I understand that, but I also understand that there's pros and cons to it as well.
I mean, you get like safeguard. How can you safeguard that from getting hacked?
So one of the ways, I've did my research is, making sure I do 2-step authentication for all of my profiles, all my social medias and things of that nature. Okay. That's one way. And then, like through my website, my domain. So I have like security measures set up with them as well. And so like it's kind of prevents a lot of things from being hacked, Okay. Having access for credentials, things of that nature before, information can be transferred. So it's ways around it, but I'm still working on that. I haven't really figured out the sound, found like the sound answer when it comes to, the best way of going about, really pushing the online brand and being, being security, like for security purposes, things of that nature,
Now, Raywood, if you can go back, 3 to 5 years or whenever you was first starting Ugly,
Mm-hmm.
you can only tell yourself one thing, what would it be?
Don't stop.
Don't stop.
Just keep going. Just keep going.
Just keep doing it.
Just don't stop. Be consistent. Be consistent.
Be consistent. Now, if you was talking to a 17-year-old, 18-year-old, I want to start my own brand. I love clothes. Is that a good industry you think to go into? Or
Yes, most definitely.
Not oversaturated with all kind of brands and shirts and jeans and
right. It's not. I feel like it's not oversaturated. To be honest, I feel like there's a niche for everybody out there. If
you just say pick your niche wisely.
Right. Yeah. And if you have passion, if you believe in your brand enough, it's going to take off. Regardless if with the competitors, things of that nature. I don't even see competitors.
Yeah.
Like I don't even think about those things. I just push it. I believe in I believe in my brand, and I push it. Whatever sells. If it don't, it don't. That's how I look at it.
Now, what advice you have for like young entrepreneurs on trying to go viral? Trying to make it big on social media. The tips that kind of help you. That grew Ugly, to such a mass following before you got hacked. What did you do? What steps did you do to get there?
Well, I use certain strategies.
Mm-hmm.
There's marketing strategies within marketing strategies. And so what I mean by that, it's like, say, for instance, I wanted to reach out to influencers
mm-hmm.
that would push my brand. And so I'm like, okay, I can't get a hold of these influencers. But I know if I get them to promote my brand, it's going to take off, or it's going to bring credibility to the brand. So I had to come up with marketing strategies to get those influencers to market my clothing brand. And ways I went about doing that is, for instance, I would reach out to their network, their friends, their circle. And I would reach out to their close friends, guys that didn't have a lot of following, or family that didn't have a lot of following, but start sending them products. And once they started wearing it, once their inner circle started wearing it, those influencers started wearing it. And those influencers started reaching out to me and said, hey, can I get some clothing? And from there, that's how I went about it. And once you got like one big influencer, their circle is other influencers. So everybody's wanting to start wearing your product. So that's one way, like what I mean by marketing within inside of marketing,
And that was mostly from Instagram?
It's mostly for Instagram. I feel like Instagram and TikTok was like the biggest thing. Like everybody's in their phones, you don't see too many people watching movies nowadays. And if they are, they're watching it on their phone and through these shorts and reels, things of that nature. And by me like seeing that, like, okay, I'm going to push those celebrities, I'm not going to push the big box, Hollywood celebrities. I'm going to go for these small guys because they going to respond,
most
they have
definitely,
and I don't got to go through hoops, to try to get these guys to buy the product. And that's kind of what I went about that, and it started taking off. And some of these guys started getting into movies. And so it's like they would carry the brand with them, and it was like, that's amazing, so I looked out for them whenever they was like,
nobody knew them. Right,
nobody knew them. And it was like, I seen potential, and you see that in people when they're consistent. Eventually it's got to take off, So.
Now, things didn't change for young athletes. Now you can do all them kind of deals in college athletes.
Yeah.
You ever thought about doing one of them deals, getting a young, hot college star coming out?
Yeah.
And maybe doing something like that?
Right. So
be a brand ambassador or something?
Yeah, I've done NIL deals with athletes before. One here local, CJ Clarence. He's actually I think he's gonna be transferred to Macys this year for football. But I've worked with LSU athletes as well. Joshua Williams. I was about to be on the verge of working with Chris Hilton. He had came by the store and I didn't know, and he was on the interview. He had an Ugly shirt on, and I'm like, man, when I seen him, I didn't see him in the store, what have you. But I had reached out to him, and just to try to shoot him some NIL deal money or what have you. But at the same time, I was in college, so I know what it's like to be on a scholarship and not being able to work while on scholarship.
Yeah.
And that extra money can help you buy things that you want to have instead of just paying for school, for your books, things of that nature. So that's why I do the NIL deal. I know a lot of people might have pros and cons about, the NIL deal, but that's what people don't take into consideration is that whenever these guys are on a scholarship, they're limited.
Yeah, they can't really work. So they gotta survive somehow.
They gotta survive somehow. And that was
Most
my main reasoning for really like pushing that. So I had like about 5 athletes that was here that was within Louisiana.
Yeah.
They had athletes that was reaching out to me from other states, but I was like, my brand is here locally, and that's the reason why I only wanted to work with athletes here, within the city or what have you. But yeah, man. So like that was very beneficial as well,
You got any new products coming out? Anything hot about to come out? You want to promote or what?
I'm kind of transitioning, into new products. I'm get some watches coming in. I'm gonna get some golf clubs as well. I'm trying to change it up slightly,
Okay. So we stepping into golf too now?
Oh yeah, we're gonna be trying to do this golf. Y'all be ready for that golf. That ugly golf clubs coming soon.
It's gonna be over with.
It's over. Yeah. So that's gonna be something very interesting. Like I said, I'm very competitive, and golf is one of those things that I felt like it would have been easy, but when I went on that golf course, it was like, man, this is actually kind of hard. You got some practice and techniques that goes into this, and so like it's like promoted me to like really want to get more into that golf industry and that watch that watch industry as well. Because that's two different.
And we doing casual watch, dress
so
watch.
So I actually have a watch here that that I have that's gonna be coming out.
That look real nice.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be Swiss made, Swiss movement, made in Switzerland. Got a certificate and everything.
Sweet.
It's gonna be nice, There'll be more details on it, in the future.
How soon?
I'm looking somewhere in June, July.
Okay.
I actually got the samples coming in, so I can do the final touch-ups on them.
Okay.
And probably gonna be moving forward, But everything's still gonna be done underground, I guess you can say. Ugly underground, because I'm not really pushing nothing. I'm not really promoting anything as of now.
Okay.
I have reasons for that, and one of the reasons is I wanted it to be a brand where it's being spread word of mouth, versus me always using social media due to the hacking incident, like.
So you want organic growth?
I want organic growth,
Okay.
If the people post the product, that's that's fine, but I'm trying to go old school, everything, how they was back in the day. I'm trying to move my marketing strategy towards something similar to that,
Okay.
I'm just trying different things. I don't know what's going to work. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at marketing.
Okay.
Marketing is always changing. It's forever changing.
Okay. Now tell us that story of how you was in business for 1 year, and you did a deal with Macy's.
Oh, so yeah, like within my first year in business, I got a phone call. I thought it was a telemarketer. And I was about to hang up, and I just entertained it for a while, and I realized it was Macy's that was on the phone. And I was like, man, I thought it was a joke, I had, like, how they got my phone number, all these things are going through my mind. And I was like, yeah, let's do it, let's do this partnership, That came with pros and cons as well, because in business, if you're not in business for 2 years, it's hard to get a loan from the bank.
Yeah.
So I really had to come out of my own pocket to start pushing these stores, for this partnership, because I had to get product in a lot of the locations. Like we was in Atlanta, we were in California, Detroit, like a lot of different locations.
Yes.
We could have did more, but I didn't have the capital at the time.
Yeah, to supply
Right.
all the needs, right?
Yes, that's right. And only being in business for a year, my team wasn't there either, And it's pros and cons to growing too fast, and I realize that now. That's why I now want to take things a little slower, starting all over again. But the Macys deal was an amazing, partnership. I got to meet a lot of people, got to travel a lot, got to meet a lot of their stores, seeing how they operate, things of that nature. So,
your advice would be somebody to do something like that, or
well,
no?
Me personally, if I was to do it again, I probably wouldn't do another partnership with a big box retail store like Macy's, due to all of the logistics that takes place in trying to maintain a partnership with them. And what I mean by that is like each location had its own setup, had a different manager, had a different team. So I had to communicate differently with all these locations that we were in. And my setup was different in every location. And every day I had to look at each of these locations that my product was in because they didn't have any back stock. So I had to make sure I had to ship the product like boom, boom, boom. Like to each, it was a lot that was going on. You know what I'm saying? Whereas if I would have had a mom and pop shop, I could have sent them a whole bunch of product, back stock and all, and I could have been good. You know, it's different. You know, like it's a different vibe. You know, I felt like I was working for Macy's versus me being a partner with Macy's. So you know, it has its pros and its cons. You know.
Now, Raywood, if anybody want to look you up, look up Ugly, where can they find you?
They can find me at www.uglynmw.com. That stands for You Gotta Love Yourself No Matter What.com, basically.
Sweet.
So that's how they can find us online on the website. Social media, you'll find it all through the website as well.
Okay.
I haven't really been I haven't been pushing anything because I'm trying to figure this out, you know.
Any last words for the audience, Raywood?
Man, I just say whatever it is that you're trying to do, whatever business that you're starting, just do it. Don't wait. Don't procrastinate. Just get out there and do it. You know, like you don't know. I didn't know the ins and outs when I started Ugly. You know, it was so many questions that you can ask yourself before starting. But if you don't start, you will never know how to answer those questions. And you just got to get out there and do it. Just do it.
Most definitely. Definitely. Never quit.
Yeah, never
Always
quit.
move forward.
That's right.
Stay focused.
Yep.
We can achieve anything if we keep them things in line. Don't you think, Raywood?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
We'd like to thank y'all for coming in and tuning in with us today. Soon we'll be dropping this episode, and we'll have a new one for you. Thank you.